Hi, myself Saurabh, and so today we're gonna examine the ethical and legal issues faced by Auto Parts Corporation and a manufacturing-based company in Ontario, Canada. The the scenario presented highlights several concerns related to health and safety employment practices and financial management within the company. Through a comprehensive analysis, uh, we're going to identify and discuss three legal issues and six ethical issues utilizing relevant concepts from ethics, psychology, and more. Moreover, references to pertinent legal statutes, ethical theories, and organizational psychology principles are provided to support the discussion. So, Auto Parts Corporation, a thriving automotive manufacturing company, has faced uh, numerous challenges concerning its ethical and legal conduct. So, we're gonna delve into these issues, providing a detailed analysis of each and offering recommendations for resolution. By examining the scenario provided, we will identify three legal issues and six ethical issues, elucidating their implications for APC and stakeholders. Um, now, driving now drawing upon relevant literature in ethics, psychology, and law, uh, we're going to aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of complexities involved and propose actionable solutions. So, let's move on. Now, for the first part, what are the legal issues related to the company and organization, we can say? So, the number one is health and safety violations. So, it depicts APC's failure to uphold safety standards and provide adequate training, resulting in a high rate of workplace injury. There should be proper, training and so that there should be minimum injuries at the workplace, and they shouldn't lie about anything on the training as well, so that their employees know what are the safety concerns and what they need to do in able to always be secure and safe. So according to me, this constitutes a legal issue under occupational health and safety regulations such as um, the Occupational Safety and Health Act. By neglecting to ensure a safe working environment, APC risk legal liabilities, including fine and potential criminal charges. Now, moving on to the second point, it's a discriminatory hiring practices. So APC's discriminatory hiring practices, as a as it's evidenced by its inclusion exclusion of workers born in Quebec and imposition of discriminatory requirements. So there should be no I think there should be no uh, you know what we say discrimination based on the way the where you live. I mean, from where your employees are, you should treat all the employees equally, and they should be inclusion in the teams and everywhere. So according to me, this is the contravene um human rights legislation such as Canadian Human Rights Act and Ontario Human Rights Codes. These practices expose APC to legal repercussions, including lawsuits and sanctions for employment equity violations, I think. Moving on to the third point, it's a invasion of privacy. So the requirement for employees to submit urine samples without consent and undergo medical tests infringes upon their privacy rights. So I don't think it's a good idea to ask your employees to give urine samples, and that too without even consent. It's a privacy right violate. So, violating laws such as the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, which is also called as PIPEDA, this constitutes a legal issue concerning, you know, uh, privacy legislation and employee right, potentially leading to legal challenges and penalties for APC. Now moving on to ethical issues. So number one is exploitative employment practices. So APC's exploitation of temporary workers through low wages and inadequate benefits raises ethical concerns. They give their temporary workers a very minimum wage, and that too without any kind of other benefits as well. This is a really concerning thing, and it's not good. It raises ethical concerns regarding fairness and justice in employment practices. Drawing upon ethical theories such as utilitarianism and Kantian ethics, it is evident that APC's action undermine the dignity and the well-being of its employees. They are not treating their employees really good, because they are giving them minimum wages and they are not giving them really good benefits as well, because they know they are temporary workers. So it's a really concerning, and it's necessitating ethical scrutiny and corrective actions. Number two point will be negligence and safety trainings. So the scenario reveals APC's negligence in providing adequate safety training, placing employees at risk of harm. The most important part of your employees, if you are a really good company or organization, is how do you take care of your employees, how you're going to look after them. It's your responsibility when they are at workplace, that they should always stay safe. Safety should be your first priority for your employees. So this ethical issue stems from the company's failure to fulfill its duty of care towards employees, safety and well-being. And drawing upon principles of organizational psychology, such as the importance of training and supervision in promoting a safe work environment, um, it is evident that APC's actions reflect ethical irresponsibility. Now, moving on to third point, it's a discrimination based on marital status. So, APC's requirement for married employees to purchase life insurance at their own expense, I mean, it constitutes discrimination based on marital status. There should be fairness between all the employees. It doesn't matter if they are married or not married, and even if you want to take them insurance, it should be on the company's expense. It should be not on your own employees own expense. So it's a violating ethical principles of equality and fairness. By imposing unequal burdens on married employees, APC perpetuates injustice and undermines employee welfare, necessitating ethical evaluation and corrective measures. Violation of employee privacy will be our fourth point. So um, again, this scenario depicts APC's violation of employees' privacy rights through uh, mandatory urine sample submission and medical test without consent. So this ethical issue, reflects a disregard for employees. It's a, it's a disregard for employee autonomy, I will say, and dignity, contravening principles of respect and fairness in the workplace. There should be, dignity, respect, and fairness at the workplace for all of your employees. You should treat your employees really good, and there shouldn't be these kind of practices at the workplace. So, drawing upon ethical theories such as virtue ethics and deontological ethics, it is evident that APC's action constitute a breach of trust and require, um, I will say, ethical accountability. Moving on to fifth point, it's a misrepresentation of safety practices. So APC's failure to uphold safety standards and misrepresentation of its commitment to safety through inadequate training and supervision constitute, ethical misconduct, obviously. So, why, as an organization, as a company, why you wanna, mislead your employees and uh, your regularity authorities about its safety practices? It's not a good point. It's not a good idea to do all these things. So APC compromises organizational integrity and undermines trust, according to me, in this scenario. And drawing upon ethical principles of honesty and transparency, it is evident that APC's actions warrant ethical scrutiny and corrective action. Now, moving on to 6 points, it's financial mismanagement. So, in this scenario, it highlights that the APC's financial mismanagement I would say evidenced by its dismissal of a reputable auditor and engagement of a smaller local firm. This ethical issue raised concerns about transparency. Obviously, why they should pay transparency and uh, accountability. I will say in financial practices, jeopardizing stakeholders' interest. So, mm, I mean, drawing upon principles of corporate governance and ethical leadership, it is evident that APC's actions reflect ethical negligence and require, more remedial measures. So, according to me, my recommendations are, to address the ethical and legal issues identified. APC should, implement comprehensive safety training programs to ensure employees' well-being and compliance with education. Occupational health and safety regulations. This should be their first motto. They should take care of their employees. It's their, uh, you know, it's their, uh, um, it should be their first practice as to ensure like their employees are safe or are their employees are safe or I would say they should implement comprehensive safety training programs to ensure employee well-being and compliance with the occupational health and safety regulations. I will say again, and they should revise hiring policies to eliminate discriminatory practices, whether it should be based on uh, if they are male, female, or uh, doesn't matter if from where the employees are, where they live, and promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. And again, respecting employees' privacy is one of the most important part for the organization or company. So, respect employees' privacy and uh, by obtaining informed consent for medical testing and adhering to privacy legislation. Enhance transparency and accountability in financial management by appointing an independent auditor and adhering to corporate governance standards too. So, in conclusion, according to me, the scenarios presented highlights numerous ethical and legal challenges faced by Auto Parts Corporation, and through a thorough analysis, we have identified three legal issues and six ethical issues, elucidating their implications and I will say proposing recommendations for resolution. And by addressing these issues proactively, APC can uphold ethical standards, uh, mitigate legal risk, and foster a culture of integrity and responsibility within the organization. So, for references, I have used Occupational Safety and Health Act OSHA 29 USC 61 website 651 uh, sanction at their website on obviously on Ontario Occupational Safety and Health Act website. And the second recommendation, um, reference I got from I took from Canadian Human Rights Act RSC 1985 CH6 from the website of Canadian Human Rights. And then third, I took from Ontario Human Rights Act from their website RSO 1990 CH19. And fourth, I took from Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, which is also known as PIPEDA, SC 2000 C5. And now we're going to explore the ethical and leadership challenges faced by David, the Chief Operating Officer at Auto Parts Corporation. It delves into five alternative courses of action available to David in response to the ethical and legal issues confronting the company, and each alternative is analyzed meticulously, considering the potential benefits and drawbacks from David's personal, ethical, uh, and leadership perspectives, I would say. So, drawing upon a wide array of ethical theories, organizational psychology principles, and real-world examples, I'm going to provide an in-depth examination of the complexities involved in ethical decision making within organizational contexts. So, Autoparts Corporation is grappling with significant ethical and legal challenges necessitating, decisive action from its chief operating officer David. And this paper aims to provide a thorough analysis of, I wouldn't say a paper. I mean, this video provides a thorough analysis of five alternative uh, courses of action available to David as he navigates the complexities of the situation. And by examining the potential implications of each option from multiple perspectives, including personal, ethical, and leadership considerations, David can make well informed decisions aligned with the ethical principles and organizational values. So, what are the alternative courses of action David could have taken? So, for the first point, it's address safety concerns internally. So, one potential course of action for David is to address safety concerns internally with APC. So, this process, I would say, this approach, uh, involves initiating discussions with company leadership. He should gather all the team leaders, all the supervisors, and all the employers at the higher position, and according to me, relevant stakeholders as well, to raise awareness of safety issues and advocate for the improvements as well. So, what are the pros for this? So, it maintains organizational stability. Addressing issues like this internally may prevent external stakeholders from becoming aware of APC's challenges, maintaining stability within the company. And it also preserves the relationship. By handling the matter internally, you know, um, David can preserve relationships with existing colleagues and management, fostering, trust and cooperation. It can promote, organizational learning. So, internal resolution provides an opportunity for APC to learn from its mistakes and implement sustainable solutions to improve workplace safety. And it also aligns with corporate culture. If APC values internal problem solving and prioritizes loyalty, addressing safety concerns internally may align with the company's cultural norms. But we have cons also as. So what are the cons? Let's look at the cons. It's like for the very first, I think it's a lack of external oversight. So, internal resolution may lack the impartiality and rigor of external investigations, potentially leading to, biased assessments and inadequate solutions. The very second con is potential for cover up. So, without external scrutiny, there's a risk that safety issues may be, downplayed or concealed to protect the company's reputation, compromising, I will say, employee safety. And the number third is its limited resource and expertise. APC may lack the necessary resources or expertise to effectively, address complex safety concerns internally, resulting in ineffective or superficial solutions. The next one is it perpetuates status quo. So internal resolution may perpetuate existing power dynamics and organizational structures that contributed to, uh, you know, I would say, safety issues and hindering, I would, meaningful change. And the second point is it's report safety violations to regulators. I mean, the second point of the alternative, what David can do. So another option for David is to report safety violations to regulatory authorities such as the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, which is also known as WSIB, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which is also known as OSHA. So this course of action involves disclosing information about APC's safety practices and requesting an investigation into potential violations. It also has its pros and cons. So, pros are like legal compliance. Reporting safety violations demonstrates APC's commitment to complying with the uh, relevant regulations and upholding legal standards, reducing the, I would say, risk of legal penalties. And uh, the second pro will be external accountability. So involving regulators ensures external oversight and accountability, deterring unethical behavior and promoting transparency within APC. The very third point is protects employees' right. So regulatory intervention can protect employees from unsafe working conditions and ensure their rights to a safe and healthy workplace are upheld. The next point will be enhances reputation. So transparently addressing safety concerns demonstrates uh, APC's commitment to ethical conduct and employee well-being, enhancing its reputation among stakeholders. Now moving on to cons, I would say the very first point will be strained relationships. So according to me, reporting safety violations to regulators may strain relationships within company leaderships and colleagues, leading to conflict and distrust, I would say, within the organization. It could be a negative publicity also for me. Like external investigations and regulatory actions may attract negative publicity, damaging APC's reputation and eroding stakeholders' trust as well. Now, resource intensive. Third point will be my. So regulatory investigations can be, time consuming and resource intensive as well. Diverting attention and resources away from core business activities. So it's not a good idea for me, according. Also, a not a good idea, I would say. So it has its cons as well, and this is the con. So now moving on to the next point, it's a potential retaliation. So whistleblowers, including David, may face retaliation from company leadership or colleagues for reporting safety violation, risking their professional reputation and job security as well. So now moving on to third point of what David could have done. So it's like collaborate with employee advocacy groups. So David could choose to collaborate with employee advocacy groups or labor unions to address safety concerns and advocate for employee right within APC. This involves forming partnerships with external organizations to amplify employees' voices and leverage collective actions for change. Now, what are the pros? So, according to me, pros are strength in numbers. Collaborating with the advocacy groups empowers employees by amplifying their voice and leveraging collective actions to advocate for change, increasing the likelihood for success. And the second point will be, I think, it's external support. So, external advocacy groups can provide valuable expertise, resources, and support to APC employees, enhancing their capacity to address safety concerns effectively. The number third point will be it's public pressure. So, external advocacy efforts can generate public pressure and media attention, compelling APC to take action and prioritize employee safety to protect its reputation. And the very last point will be long term solutions. So, collaboration efforts can foster trust and cooperation between APC and its employees, facilitating the development of long term solutions to systemic safety issues. Now, moving on to cons, resistance from management. Company leadership may, resist a collaboration with external advocacy groups, reviewing them as adversarial and disruptive to organizational operations. The next point will be potential for divisiveness. So collaborative, efforts may exacerbate, I would say, tensions within APC, particularly if management perceives advocacy groups as challenging their authority or legitimacy. Loss of control. So collaborating with external, advocacy groups may diminish APC's control over the narrative and outcomes of safety-related initiatives, uh, increasing uncertainty and risk. Moving on to another point, I would say it's confidentiality concerns as well. So, sharing sensitive information with the external advocacy groups may raise, confidentiality concerns, particularly if it involves a proprietary or confidential business information. Moving on to our next point, what David could have done, I would say it's engage in dialogue with company leadership. David may choose to engage in dialogue with company leadership to address safety concerns and advocate for organizational change. This involves initiating open and honest discussions with senior management to express concerns, propose solutions, and negotiate improvements. Well, what are the pros? So, pros will be like preserve organizational harmony. Um, you know, Engaging in dialogue with company leadership preserves organizational harmony and fosters a collaborative approach to problem solving, uh, minimizing conflict and disruption, I would say. And then the second point will be influence and persuasion. As a senior leader, David can, leverage his influence and persuasive skills to effectively communicate the importance of addressing safety concerns and advocate for necessary changes. Another point will be internal accountability. So, internal dialogue promotes internal accountability and ownership of safety issues with the uh, APC, encouraging management to take proactive steps to address concerns and prevent future incidents. What are the cons now? So it's for me for what it's like resistance and defensiveness. So company leaders may be resistant to feedback or defensive in response to safety concerns and impeding progress on addressing issues. Lack of tangible outcomes. Dialogue without tangible outcomes or action plans may be perceived as ineffective or superficial, eroding trust and credibility in leadership's commitment to addressing safety concerns. The second point will be power imbalance. So dialogue may be characterized by a power imbalance between David and company leadership, limiting David's ability to influence decision making and drive meaningful change. And the very last con will be, according to me, it's a risk of retaliation. So speaking out against company leadership uh, may expose David to retaliation or marginalization within APC, jeopardizing his professional standing and career prospects. And the very last fifth point will be like seek legal counsel and whistleblower protection. So, David could seek legal counsel and whistleblower protection to disclose safety violations and protect himself from potential retaliation. This involves consulting with legal experts to understand whistleblower laws and procedures, documenting evidence of safety violations, and submitting reports to appropriate authorities. What are the pros? So, legal protection. So, seeking whistleblower protection offers legal safeguards for David, you know, shielding him from retaliation or adverse consequences for disclosing safety violations. Ensures accountability. So, whistleblower protection mechanism ensure accountability within APC by facilitating the disclosure of unethical or illegal practices, promoting transparency and integrity. And the third pro will be preserve employer right. So, whistleblower protection upholds employees' right to a safe and healthy work environment, safeguarding their well-being and welfare. Now, moving on to cons, uh, you know, potential repercussions. Whistleblowing may lead to negative repercussions for David, such as retaliation, isolation, or termination, jeopardizing his career and livelihood. Legal complexities. Whistleblower protection process can be legally complex and time consuming, requiring expert guidance and resources to navigate effectively. Risk to professional reputation. Um, Whistleblowing may tarnish David's professional reputation within APC and the broader industry, impacting future career opportunities and prospects for David. So all were these uh, my points and what David could have done, their pros and cons. Now moving on to third point, Auto Parts Corporation faces a complex array of challenges rooted in its business and organizational practices, spanning from cost-cutting measures to transparency issues. This comprehensive analysis uh, explores five key underlying causes contributing to APC's current situation and offers strategic recommendations for addressing them by examining the interplay of labor practices, occupational health, and safety protocols, transparency issues, requirement challenges, and leadership dynamics. I'm gonna provide you with the insights into the systemic, issues plaguing APC. Now moving on. So the very first point will be cost cutting measures and labor practices. So short term focus on reductions. So APC's focus on cost reduction through the utilization of temporary workers reflect a short-term mindset that prioritizes immediate financial gains over long-term sustainability. While cost-cutting measures may yield short-term, benefits, they often come at the expense of employee welfare, safety, and organizational culture as well. Now, moving on to uh, another point, neglect of employee welfare and safety. The reliance on temporary workers at minimum wage within limited benefit compromises employees welfare and safety. Inadequate training, supervision, and safety protocols contribute to a hazardous work environment, endangering employee well-being and exposing APC to legal liabilities. Um, Impact on organizational culture. So, APC's labor practices and cost cutting measures impact organizational culture, fostering a climate of insecurity, mistrust, and disengagement among employees. High turnover rates, recruitment challenges, and a lack of commitment from the workforce, undermine morale and hinder organizational performance as well. Moving on to our another point, it's transparency and accountability issues. So opaque owner structure. So APC's opaque ownership structure and limited financial, disclosure raises concerns about transparency, accountability, and ethical governance. Undisclosed relationships with labor agencies and a lack of, clarity in ownership arrangements undermines stakeholder trust and confidence in the company's integrity. Now, another point will be mm, our 4 point is like high turnover and recruitment challenges. So, precarious employment practices. APC's reliance on temporary workers and precarious employment practices contribute to high turnover rates and recruitment challenges. Constantly replenishing the workforce with temporary labor disrupts operational continuity, impedes skill development, and I would say deters qualified candidates from seeking employment. Talent acquisition and retention strategies is also our sub point of this, I will say. So it's addressing recruitment challenges requires APC to adopt proactive talent acquisition uh, and retention strategies, investing in employer training and development, offering competitive wages and benefits, and fostering a positive work environment are crucial for attracting and retaining skilled talents. Our first fifth point will be leadership in inaction and communication breakdowns. So according to me, it's a decisive leadership action should be taken. So the lack of decisive leadership action exacerbates, I would say, I'm so sorry, uh, organizational dysfunction and ethical lapses. So APC's leadership must demonstrate a commitment uh, to addressing systematic issues, implementing meaningful reforms, and rebuilding stakeholder confidence through transparent communication and decisive actions. Another subpoint will be stakeholder engagement and communication. So effective stakeholder engagement and communication are essential for rebuilding trust and fostering a culture of transparency and accountability within APC. Open dialogue, regular updates, and inclusive decision-making processes enhances transparency, promotes trust, and align organizational goals with stakeholder expectations. So this was our third part. Now moving on to fourth part. So what are the points it should focus on? So the very first point will be, I say, it's a strengthened workplace safety measures. So in today's dynamic work environments, ensuring the safety of well-being of employees is paramount to organizational success and sustainability. Employers must adopt a proactive approach to identify potential hazards, mitigate risks, and cultivate a culture of safety excellence to prevent workplace accidents and injuries. Herein lies the significance of you know I would say implementing strengthened workplace safety measures encompassing robust training programs, proactive hazards identification, a culture of safety excellence, uh, etc. etc. So there should be robust safety training programs as well. The cornerstone of workplace safety lies in equipping employees within the knowledge, skills, and resource necessary to identify hazards, mitigate risks, and respond effectively to emergencies. Robust safety training programs serve as a cornerstone in promoting a culture of safety excellence, ensuring that employees are adequately prepared to navigate various workplace hazards and challenges. These programs encompass I would say a diverse a diverse range of topics including hazard recognition, emergency response procedures, and compliance with regulatory standards. Moving on to our second subtopic, it's proactive hazard identification and risk assessments. So preventing workplace accidents and injuries requires a proactive approach to identify potential hazards, assess associated risk, and implement uh, appropriate control measures as well. So proactive hazard identification and risk assessment process serves as a foundational pillars in mitigating workplace risk and fostering a safe and healthy work environment. These processes involve systematic evaluations of workplace conditions, equipment, and activities to identify existing or potential hazards that may pose a threat or uh, employee safety and well-being, I would say. Now moving on to our another point. So it's cultivating a culture of safety excellence. So building a strong safety culture is essential to creating a work environment where safety is prioritized, valued, and ingrained in every aspect of organizational operations. Safety culture encompasses the collective attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of employees towards safety, reflecting the organization's commitment to ensure well-being of workforce. Cultivating a culture of safety excellence requires proactive leadership, open communication, employee engagement, um, um, continuous improvement initiatives, safety recognition programs, etc. So, one of the fundamental aspects of cultivating a culture of safety excellence is fostering proactive leadership at all levels of the organization. Leadership commitment to safety sends a powerful message to employees, emphasizing the you know importance of safety as a core organizational values. So this was our third point. Now moving on to our fourth point, it's behavioral safety initiatives. So behavioral safety initiatives focus on influencing employee behaviors and attitudes towards safety through positive enforcement, peer-to-peer observation, and behavior-based interventions. These initiatives recognize the critical role of human factors in safety performance and seek to address underlying behavioral patterns that may contribute to unsafe or conditions. By promoting safe behavior, reinforcing positive safety habits, and addressing unsafe behaviors through coaching and corrective actions, organizations can enhance safety performance and reduce the risk of workplace accidents and injuries. Now, our fifth point will be investments in safety leadership and supervision. So, effective safety leadership and supervision are instrumental in creating a safe and healthy work environment where employees feel supported, empowered, and motivated to prioritize safety in their daily activities. Safety leadership involves, setting clear expectations, providing visible support, holding employees accountable for safety performance, and fostering a culture of continuous improvements. Our sixth point will be, leveraging technology for safety enhancement. So, in today's digital age, technology plays a pivotal role in enhancing workplace safety by providing organizations with innovative tools and solutions to identify, mitigate, and manage safety risk effectively. Leveraging technology for safety enhancements encompasses a wide range of applications, including the use of wearable devices such as that includes that may have IoT sensors, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and data analytics to monitor, predict, and prevent workplace accidents and injuries. The other point will be so seventh point will be integration of human factors engineering. So human factors engineering focuses on optimizing the interaction between humans and systems to enhance safety, efficiency, and usability in the workplace. By considering human capabilities, limitations, and behaviors in the design, implementation of work process, equipment, and environments, um, organizations can minimize the risk of human error and improve overall safety performance. Now, moving on to our eighth point, it's empowerment of safety committees and employees representative. Empowering safety committees and employee representative is essential for fostering employee engagement, participation, and ownership of safety initiatives within the organization. Safety committees comprising representatives from management, supervisors, and frontline employees can play a crucial role in identifying safety hazards, evaluating safety performance, and recommending improvements to safety to enhance workplace safety as well. So these were my all 7 points, and thank you for this video.